What is going on, everyone? We got Adam Martinez from Mean Green Nation, publisher, editor, had the site since 2009. Really does really good job. And he was nice enough to jump on tonight in preparation of the UVA North Texas second round NIT game this Sunday. Thanks for so much, Adam.
Yeah, no problem. Probably the biggest game in the history of college basketball. I think maybe I'd put it.
It's major. It's real major, man.
Yeah, I heard there's like a smaller tournament going on right now. Maybe, yeah, but I don't know anything about it.
So, have you been watching tons of college basketball?
Well, yeah, I think everybody kind of does. I actually went down to the Conference USA tournament, so I think people who know me know that like Mean Green Nation HQ, we moved to St. Louis, which is kind of weird, but real life work kind of stuff like that.
I hear you, dude.
Yeah, so I went down to Frisco, right? Magical town. And we covered the game from there. And it was a good time. Saw a lot of people, all that good stuff. So in addition to seeing live college basketball in front of me with, my own two eyes, obviously been watching a lot of it. I'm sure my data bill and whatever like that is super high. Yeah, that's how it goes.
I love Frisco. In addition to being a monster UVA fan, me and my wife are huge Cowboys fans. So
there you go. We have something in common. It's not all college basketball.
If you saw the other side of this office right now, you'd see Cowboys jerseys, Cowboys, everything. So it's half UVA, half Cowboys.
I can get behind that. I like
it. So I went to the A10 conference tournament. I didn't get to go all the way up to New York for the ACC, but yeah, seeing college basketball up close and center has been awesome. It feels like this is like the first tournament back to normal. Like tons of fans, real atmospheres.
Yeah, you get that vibe, right? Like everybody, people are excited. Normally, there's like a baseline level of I like to be here kind of stuff. But then this year they're like, I like to be here and I'm just like enjoying every second of it. Even like the weird stuff. Like let's heckle the ref. The ref's making terrible calls. Let's remember how to do this. Remember how to heckle. Yeah. Maybe pull out an old sheet and like they're reading. I got some new heckles. I wrote them during the pandemic. So they're breaking it all out. I like, yeah. I've only shouted them at my house, and my dog is the only one that's been listening to. Now I got to do it live and in person.
Good stuff. So tell me a little bit about North Texas. I remember last year, of course, the big upset of Purdue. That was, you guys were flying high. I know you had a monster winning streak this year. But how is the fan base feeling right now being in the NIT?
It's a contented disappointment, I suppose. That you said we beat Purdue, to get the upset in the tournament. There was iPad Dad, that was North Texas, all that good stuff. We lost Javion Hamlet, right? That was our dude, probably the best player in North Texas history in terms of accomplishment. He won Player of the Year in the conference, led us to a regular season title, the pandemic shortened one, led us to a conference title in the tournament, and a tournament win. Like that. With that resume, you can get into the Sports Hall of Fame there. So it's all good. So we lost him. Had some returning guys like Thomas Bell, Reuben Jones, etc. And all that was good, but we're like, I don't know who's gonna do the clutch shooting. You kind of look up and down the roster. I don't really see it. There's the new guy. What's his face? Tyler Perry, and everybody makes Tyler Perry jokes. And so we're like, we'll wait and see. The conference was predicted to be UAB, who was in the tournament, ended up winning. I think they're playing Houston
soon, I think.
Yeah. And then they're really good. And then Louisiana Tech, everybody thought they were going to be really good. They made some noise in the NIT last season. There's always West Kentucky. They actually West Kentucky and Louisiana Tech ended up playing in the NIT last year, which was in Frisco, turns out. So we just kind of, I don't want to say, we knew that we were going to be, all right, we're going to be somewhere in there. It'll be a successful season. We wrote in our journals, Dear Diary, I'm going to be content with this season if we just, get to the semifinals of the conference tournament, give a good run, you just kind of compete with what we have. But number one, seed won a regular season title, played a really good brand of basketball if you like defense. I think you're a Virginia fan. I think you like defense.
We like defense.
Yeah. So
the crowd goes craziest in Charlottesville for shot clock violations. That gets people more hyped than anything.
Well, I know everybody was like, "Oh, this game's gonna be so boring," but it's not like they're just bad basketball teams. They're good at defending. So whatever. I'll leave that aside.
We heard the same thing going into the national championship game. a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Because Texas Tech, another,
Yes.
locked screws down defensive team. And it turned out to be pretty exciting. So don't worry, this is gonna be a good game.
Good teams playing each other. I liked it. So wrapping up this long answer that to this question you gave me is that we're excited about it. We're disappointed because I felt like we could have beat Louisiana Tech, and in that game it was really it's the famous 42-36. They're like, look at this terrible representation of basketball. It was really North Texas just not shooting well. They got the looks they wanted. Our shooter Marjez McBride just couldn't hit anything. I think those 2 days against Rice, against Louisiana Tech, he was like 2 of 14. He just couldn't, and last year in the tournament, the NCAA tournament, he was hitting everything. He was in like 2 or 3 games. It just one of those days. He couldn't shoot. Louisiana Tech has a good defense too, so like, credit to them. That's it. That's really the it of it all. And we didn't play so well against Texas State because they have some weird Sun Belt basketball there. I don't know.
It sounds like there's a lot of things in common here because as North Texas is ranked 15th in Ken Palm defensive efficiency, so a very good defensive team. And Virginia, like their big issue this year is they haven't been able to fill the scoring roles that were lost last year. We had guys go to the NBA, G League, all of our shooting, all of our scoring. We brought in some transfers this year, and one of them, Jaden Gardner, has performed very well, better than expectation, but he's like mid-range to post game. We don't have some games. We didn't make a 3-pointer in our first round in our ACC tournament win. It's unheard of. We didn't make a 3-pointer.
Yeah, that's some classic old school basketball there,
yeah.
Right? 1970s basketball.
And so we weren't able to. We brought in a guy from Indiana, Armand Franklin, to kind of be our ace bomber from deep.
Yeah.
And it was like he shot 42% last year at Indiana, and he's shooting 25% at UVA. So it's like, he shoots a lot, but he doesn't make a ton.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know what you could do. Like, I mean, if you played pickup basketball and you're getting the shots you want, and you're just like, it's not working. Somebody make it work. It's frustrating. And I think I tweeted this after the game. It's like, I think the worst feeling in basketball is watching your team just not make open shots. I mean, you're like, I don't know. There's nothing else. It's not like, well, they're just too fast. They're just blocking us or something like that. No. There's the guy. He's good at shooting. I've seen him make lots of 3-pointers.
Ton.
And right now he cannot do it. And it's not like he's trying everything, So
tell me a little bit about this defense. Is it what is kind of we're seeing the high ranking, the gaudy stats? What is their key to locking folks down?
Yeah, a lot of it. I mean, I wouldn't say, there's aspects of everybody, like little no middle kind of stuff like that. But I think a lot of it is just very disciplined, is what it is.
Okay.
That they're undersized, right? I think Abu Usman, he's 6'11". He can move his feet though, and that's key. If you have a big that can move his feet, then you don't get caught up in like weird pick and roll situations. So teams can't really do that. I was actually talking to the Louisiana Tech head coach, and I was like, I mean, so what was your game plan going? And he was just he was going on and on the way coaches do about how good North Texas is at having somebody in the paint. Like when you do a drive, there's always somebody there. So it's either going to be somebody taking a charge, a guard coming over to dig down to even help if a big gets the ball to turn. If he drops his hands, they're going to be in there doing little guy stuff and messing with the ball. And so that's how they overcome the size. A lot of it just playing really good. It's fun to see them. I played high school terribly. I was a terrible high school basketball player. Again, I'm here talking about it, not talking about my amazing career in the NBA. So I think you can gather that. But I can hear my coach saying, you got to fight over screens. You got to get here. You see them doing that. And that's cool. Like you see them fighting over screens, doing the little things that, you need to do to play good defense, closing out on every shooter and nothing crazy, not flying by them, but hands up. They're all the little pieces of defense. And it's led by the assistant coach, Ross Hodge, who probably is going to get a gig somewhere else. We're looking at the clock, like, days until Ross Hodge leaves or Grant McGaslin goes somewhere. I think he's been rumored to go to Mizzou or maybe K-State or something like that. So we're enjoying our time. We know the good times will end, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it. He got back. Well, they didn't. The pandemic shortened season, they were going to the tournament, or they were like in the mix.
Yeah, well, North Texas was number one, right? We won the league, the regular season title. So it's very much like this team now. However, that team had Javion Hamlet. And so we had a little bit more of a dynamic punch. All right. So I'll give you the keys and maybe, maybe the coaching staff, I'm sure they listen and they watch your podcast and they know. They're like, well, I can't wait to get the breakdown. We need to get the pointers from the YouTube show. So a lot of it is like, you look at how do you beat North Texas? Well, there's one guy probably that's going to break everybody down. He struggled against Texas State, and I'm talking about Tyler Perry. You can go through and look and it's like North Texas highlights. You'll see him hit a buzzer beater against Louisiana Tech, a buzzer beater against UAB, and just some clutch buckets down the stretch against Texas State. He was
Is he a JUCO transfer?
Yes, he won, and that's the other thing too. Is like all the coaching staff has either been part of winning teams or been a head coach on a winning team, and then all the players have been part of winning programs, and they have hunger right there, like JUCO guys like Tyler Perry, um, Thomas Bell. He's like an undersized forward and kind of can guard all the positions. He's grown, right? He's been like a guy that last year was a very limited, had a very narrow role, right? Stretch the floor, fly in for like rebounds, and kind of try to make some threes, but like just guard everybody. This year he's been asked to do some playmaking, and he's done it. It's been good. But Tyler Perry's been balling, but 40 minutes and 16 seconds into the game, he was 0 for 3, no points. And then he scores 8 points in the final 46 seconds. I know I did that math wrong. Please, nobody check me. I was not a math major. But yeah, he scores 8 points in that time. And that was it. He was not having a good game. Some of it was the way Texas State was guarding him. Some of it was just kind of him in his slump. I don't know. Tuesday night.
But the moral of the story here is that's who they leaned on when the game was on the line.
I think we lead the nation in buzzer beating shot clock shots, and it's usually Tyler Perry. It's like, all right, the offense didn't run, give him the ball, and then we'll let him do his thing.
I think Virginia leads the nation in playing great. Oh my God, Illinois just pulled it out by 1 point over Chattanooga.
Breaking news. I think CBS is going to come after you, but
I am.
Like, that's our game. Man, we're doing it.
That was going to be a monster upset. Yeah, I think Virginia leads the league in playing great defense for 29 seconds, and then having the opposing team throw up a prayer and spoil it all.
Yeah, I'm just looking at Chattanooga. That's Terrell Owens. It's a school. I don't know if it's true, but I heard that he showed up to Tennessee Chattanooga wearing Tennessee, University of Tennessee gear, because he didn't know that it was Tennessee Chattanooga, and he was like, "What? I didn't know
he went to the wrong school, like attended."
Yeah, like he was like, like he got the, he was like, "Sweet, I'm being recruited by Tennessee." He didn't know it was Tennessee Chattanooga. I heard that. I don't know if that's true, but I always think.
I heard a story like that about Marshawn Lynch. He got drafted by the Bills in New York, and he thought going to New York he was going to be, partying in New York City. But he gets to Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
10 feet of snow on the ground.
You're partying.
All right, so I'm not going to keep you here too much longer, Adam.
Yeah.
What? I know that y'all have a conference move coming up.
Yes, we're going to the American. Yes,
which is that's like definitely
so we're all excited about it. A lot of it's North Texas, Birmingham, right? UAB, UTSA, Rice, Charlotte, and one other team, and I'm sure everybody's
definitely the cream of the crop of the CUSA.
Well, I mean, it's kind of funny to watch the current Conference USA commissioner have to hand over these trophies to teams that are leaving. So I covered for was it CUSA Report the championship game, the football game, right? And there she was handing the trophy off to UTSA, and she's not super happy about it because they're leaving. Our football champion, they're leaving, and then our basketball champion UAB, they're leaving too. So anytime somebody loses, everybody's like, they're just screwing us over because we're leaving. Everybody does that, but
and the CAA wouldn't let James Madison even play in their conference tournament to earn the automatic bid. So
what's funny about that is that James Madison proposed that rule. That was their own rule. Like they were like, you know what? I got a great rule, and then they wrote it down, and they're like, I can't believe they're holding us to our own rule.
We were just kidding, man. Mulligan on that.
Yeah, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. So it's one of those things. So we're leaving. I don't know. What do you feel about this game? Tell me, and I guess all all the many, thousands. We're legion in Mean Green Nation. At least
So,
that's what they tell me. What's
I
gonna
mean,
what's Virginia all about right now? Like, give me
Virginia
like
is all
30
about
seconds about blocker mover offense and stuff like that.
it's the same offense every game. They call it sides. We don't shoot a ton from the outside. We get deep in the shot clock. Tony Bennett, head coach, is always in search of quality. So they'll run the shot clock deep, slow the pace down. It's all about controlling tempo and finding one good shot. With our offense this year, not having a ton of options, we're tending to run things through one of our post players, Jaden Gardner, formerly of East Carolina. And that's been successful. When he's a shorter power forward, though, he's going to be 6'6". When they're facing bigger forwards that can muscle him around, we're kind of left with nowhere to go. So that's where we run into things. They don't have a big margin of error, and we don't hit a lot of threes. So it's like if a couple guys are feeling it and playing good, we can beat anyone. But if no one's really like hot, and we can go on a 10-minute scoring drought. So it's a unique team. They're always going to play good defense, though. And they're going to pick up tight. They're intense. It sounds much like North Texas. They try and stop penetration. They get back on defense, close out.
All very those things I say. I think both fans are gonna be like, you know what, that was good. I appreciate that play. And it sounds like I watched a little bit against the Mississippi State game that Virginia played and won. That was kind of cheating. Mississippi State should have hosted, and they're like, we'll host it. We'll wear their road uniforms. I'm sure that's gonna give you an advantage.
No worries. We'll take it.
Yeah, so it should be a good one. I think. What is your prediction? You have, I think, North Texas is favored by a handful or something. Is that what I saw? Actually, I haven't looked at it.
I believe so. Ken Palm has North Texas favored to win 58-53, low scoring game.
Yeah, so I'm gonna factor in my own fan worry because I've seen them. I know all the ways that it could go wrong. But I'm gonna say we're gonna win. I feel like we're gonna win only because we're at home, and
Does the crowd get crazy?
It has been getting crazy. There's like when I was in school, it was called like the pit crew, but now it's like the Maniacs. I don't really get it, but whatever. It's the student section is now the Maniacs. It's been rebranded, and they're fun. They're loud. At least one guy gets kicked out a game. So there you go.
Virginia went to James Madison and lost this year, so kind of similar. I feel like it was a ruckus environment. They lost, and so it's possible they can definitely go on the road.
There is a little bit of like whoever's taking it more seriously, right? Like, it's the NIT, and so I think there's a little bit like I'm coming a little sad that we're not in the NCAA tournament. And you look up, you're like, oh, you know what, we're losing. I guess we should play hard. And then it's kind of weird there. So that does happen. You never know.
Virginia 61, North Texas 53. But
I like it. It's good. You have to do it. It'd be weird if you didn't do it. All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on, man. It was good talking to you. I know.
Yeah, Adam. Love the site. I checked it out today. I was very impressed. Keep up everything that you're doing, and we'll definitely do this again at some point.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it, man.